Hello everyone, my name is Candice Michelle. Welcome to Black Pinups YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing a Did You Know? And today's Did You Know is on Viola Desmond. She was the Canadian Rosa Parks, but she happened 9 years before Rosa Parks, and I wrote about her in the 13th issue of Black Pinups with Tammy Savoy. So I will be talking about her story and what happened and why she's so important and why we should remember her. So let's get into her story.
Viola Desmond, Canada's civil rights pioneer. Rosa Parks. Everyone knows the name and story of the mother of civil rights movement. History books says it all started with her despite her actions being done previously before, albeit not a model citizen like Rosa herself. But in African American history, we see her as a pioneer the way we see Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, and Mary McLeod Bethune. But there was one who goes practically unnoticed, an African American who made her mark in the neighboring country, Canada, long before Rosa Parks, 9 years to be exact. Her name was Viola Desmond. Viola Desmond was a stunning beauty. She was one of 10 children of James Albert Davis, a black man, and her mother, Gwendolyn Irene Davis, a white woman. Both of her parents were active in the black community in Halifax. It was there that the seeds were planted into her to stand up for what is right amongst black people during the segregationary time of Halifax. Desmond wasn't just a pioneer in civil rights of Canada, she was also an entrepreneur. She was the first of her kind, a black female entrepreneur. For a short time, she was a teacher, but her calling was to be a businesswoman. She studied at the Field Beauty Culture School in Montreal, one of the few schools in Canada that accepted black students. Later, she continued her education in Atlantic City and New York. She opened her first school called Vi Studio of Beauty Culture in Halifax that catered to the black community. With beautiful new hairstyles coming to style, Desmond started her own beauty line and opened a beauty school, the Desmond School of Beauty Culture, to help train women in the art of hair and makeup. The school provided training that helped the growth of employment for young black women. The response to her school grew rapidly as many as 15 women graduated the program each year. On November 8, 1946, Viola Desmond was traveling on a business trip in New Glasgow when her car broke down. Being told that she would need to stay the night for a part to arrive and have the car fixed the next morning, she decided to see a movie in Sydney, Nova Scotia. When purchasing a ticket for the Dark Mirror, she wanted a seat for the car downstairs seating of the Roseland Theatre. The cashier gave her a ticket for the balcony, the colored section of the theater, for 39 cents. The downstairs section for the whites was only 40 cents. Desmond took her ticket and sat in the downstairs seating area. The theater manager who saw Desmond asked for her ticket and told her to take the upstairs balcony. Confused, Desmond went back to the original cashier and told her she wanted a ticket for the downstairs seating. It was then she was told, "I'm sorry, but I'm not permitted to sell downstairs tickets to you people." Realizing this was a race issue in defiance, she took her ticket and sat in the downstairs seating and continued to watch the movie until she was forced out of her seat by a police officer. The force was so violent that she injured her hip and knee. One of her high-heeled shoes came off, along with her purse. She was arrested and taken to jail, where she stayed there until her trial the next morning. In court, Magistrate Roderick McKay charged Desmond with attempting to defraud the government over 1 penny, sitting in an area designated for whites even though she purchased a ticket for the colored section of the theater. Her rebuttals fell on deaf ears and she was fined $26. Desmond was not provided with legal counsel, and the issue of race was never mentioned even though it was the obvious elephant in the room. Viola sought support from NCAACP, Nova Scotia Association for the Advancement of Colored People. But even with their help and advice from Miss Pearline Oliver, a patron of Desmond's beauty parlor and wife of Reverend William Pearlie Oliver, her husband was of no help. His only advice, take it to the Lord with a prayer. She fought courageously for racial equality. Her case was further publicized by Carrie Bess, who wrote for the first black-owned Nova Scotia newspaper, the Clarion. After court battles and the lawsuit never going to trial, Viola's lawyer, Frederick Bassett, applied to the Supreme Court to have the criminal conviction put aside. On July 20, 1947, Supreme Court Justice Maynard Brown Archibald ruled against Desmond on the grounds that the decision of the original magistrate should be appealed to the county court. The conviction stood. Later, the legal action stopped and Bassett didn't bill his client. NSAACP used funds to continue their fight against the segregation in Nova Scotia. Change did happen in Nova Scotia, and the black community started to fight back, inspired by Desmond's fight against inequality. But with change came trouble. Viola and her husband divorced due to the strain of the civil rights movement, Viola's refusal to back down and be quiet like he advised. Her beauty school closed and she moved to Montreal. She died on February 7, 1965, at the age of 50 from gastrointestinal hemorrhage. She's buried in Halifax at Camp Hill. With the help of her sister, Wanda Robeson, Viola Desmond's legacy lives on. In 2010, Viola Desmond was granted a free pardon by Lieutenant Governor Mayan Francis and public apology by Darrell Dexter. At the formal ceremony, Minister of African Nova Scotian Affairs and Economic and Rural Development, Percy Paris, said, "With this pardon, we are acknowledging the wrongdoings of the past, and we are reinforcing our stance that discrimination and hate will not be tolerated." In 2012, Canada Post issued a stamp bearing Viola's image. And on March 8, 2016, International Women's Day, the Bank of Canada chose Viola Desmond to appear on the face of a $10 bill. The bills were released in 2018. For a more in-depth look on Viola's life, you can read the following: Living in Hope, Viola Desmond's Story by Marcy Johnson, available on audio CD. Viola Desmond Won't Be Judged by Jody Nyasha Warner and Richard Rudnicki. Sister to Courage by Wanda Robeson. Viola Desmond's Canada by Graham Reynolds.
Okay, so that was the story of Viola Desmond. Wasn't that an amazing story? I know. That is why I wrote about it. So be sure to follow me on Instagram at Black Pinups Magazine and on Facebook at Black Pinups, and also on Twitter at Black _ Pin _ Ups. Someone took Black Pinups before I created Black Pinups, so. But yes, so I hope you enjoyed that, and there will be more to come, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.